Good morning and welcome to our devotions for today, Wednesday. As we come together again once more, we want to give thanks to the Almighty for giving us this opportunity to be together in a time of devotion, a time of reflection. And we ask God's favor as we journey together along this road. Let us now find our quiet place, our place of reflection, meditation, and let us enter that space mindful of God's presence as we come into our hearts with a spirit of gratitude and love. And we simply breathe into this moment. We simply allow for that sense of inner peace. We allow for the presence, watching our breath, being conscious of the fact that we're breathing, being present to this moment, present to every aspect of this now. And simply allowing ourselves to be still. Sensing as best we can the energy within our bodies, that life energy. Which is the core of who we are. As we seek to allow that energy to be available to us throughout this day, for us to be aware of it, for us to feel that sense of life within. Let us be intentional about feeling that life within. So that we can truly experience the presence of the divine in all that we say and do this day. And so with this sense of presence, we come to our reading for this morning. Then Herod sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring me word, so that I may also go and pay him homage." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. In this life of ours, we are constantly being challenged to look beyond ourselves and to accept love, to allow love to be our guiding force, to allow love to take precedence over our focus on our small self. Love of neighbor. Love of neighbor invites us to utilize the God given attribute that is ours, which is love. The little story this morning about the Magi who were following the star looking for the great event of the birth of a holy child. They find themselves following the star, but then they take it upon themselves to stop at the palace to see if it was there. They told it wasn't there and to go, and if they found anything, please for sure return, that the palace could also do homage to this holy child. And they continue on, and as was directed by the all that is, the star comes to a stop over the place. They go in, they are able to present their offerings, their gifts, and then they're told not to go back to the palace, but to go home by another way. Love versus ego. The visit to the palace was a visit into the heart of ego. Ego fears other, and ego will destroy other at all costs. Ego seeks to be able to rise to the top and doesn't want anyone else to be there but itself. We see this being emphasized throughout our world. It seems in many ways as if our world has really come to a place where all that matters is the destruction of the other and the promotion of the self. And maybe it has always been there, and I guess in a sense it has always been there, but somehow it seems to be very prevalent in our midst. Maybe in the past it was one clan or one grouping over another, but now it is not at the level of nation or clan. It's down inside this business versus that business, this department versus that department, this particular employee versus that particular employee. And so we're delving into this sense of self-centeredness, this sense of ego that is at variance with love. And we dress it up in so many different ways. We dress it up with promotions, we dress it up with increased salaries, we dress it up with labels, but all it is ego in its grandest display. Nothing to do with love. And that's our world. That's the world in which we find ourselves. And we are perfecting. The faith traditions call for love. But even the faith traditions are caught in this same drive for ego. The spiritual journey requires us to recognize ego and to be open to love. The men in their dream were open to love, and love led them safely back. You and I, we must be mindful when we are on this journey that we are guided by love and not by ego. But this is not an easy thing, because as much as we want to be guided by love, when we have that guidance, we are not often able to act from a place of love. Sometimes we continue to act from a place of self-centeredness, a place of competition, a place where we perceive ourselves as not being enough or being more than enough. We like to see ourselves as different. And so we can stand in judgment of the other because the other is not as I am. And while we may think that we are speaking from a place of faith, in reality, we are speaking from a place of ego, dressed up in a sense of self-righteousness. We need to be mindful constantly of what love means, the humility that comes with love, the sense of openness, the willingness to embrace the other. This is something that requires us to practice. It doesn't come overnight. We need to practice it. We need to be watchful of ourselves to see when ego is taking precedence over love. We need to recognize that we are in no danger from the other. We are eternal beings. We are in no danger from the other. We do not have to be protecting ourselves at every corner. We need to trust. That's the biggest challenge we have on this journey. Trust. And keep ego at bay. The men on their journey, their egos said to them, well, if this is an important event, it should be happening in the palace. Now, mind you, they were following the star all the way along, and the star was continually guiding them. But they thought, quite rationally, that maybe the place is the palace. So in a sense, they go off route. But it wasn't in the palace. And the writer of the gospel is deliberate in saying that the star stopped right over where the child was. In other words, the writer seems to be reinforcing the fact that we need to trust that we will be guided directly to where we need to be. And we don't have to surrender to our egos. We can trust that the one who started us on the journey will bring it to completion and show us directly where we need to be. And that trust is grounded in love. Trusting the love. Allowing the love to take precedence over the ego. Trust, love, always.
love one another as I have loved you, that you love one another as I have loved you. By this may all know you were my disciples, if you have love one for another. By this may all know you were my disciples, if you have love one for another. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you love one another as I